Everybody, Tom Pelissero here on Monday. Just a quick update from Winter Park. Vikings return for a short practice today. A few interesting things on the injury front. Letroy Guion is back out there on a limited basis with the turf toe. I still think this is probably something they're going to be really careful with based on how he got washed around while dealing with that out in Seattle. Percy Harvin not back on the field, which I think came as at least somewhat of a surprise to Leslie Frazier, considering we're now more than 2 weeks out from that ankle sprain. And let's not forget, Harvin wasn't even ruled out for the November 11th game against Detroit. Now here we are 8 days later, still not on the field. Frazier said he's hopeful that Harvin will be out there when practice resumes on Wednesday after another off day tomorrow, but still nothing certain there. The swelling's gone, but he's still sore, still dealing with tenderness in the ankle, and they certainly want to be careful about when exactly they put Percy Harvin back onto the field. The one that's going to fly below the radar, but I think is interesting, is Michael Jenkins, who apparently got home for the bye week, started complaining about soreness in one of his feet, ends up having an MRI today, doesn't show any structural damage, but he also is sore, wasn't able to go today. Here's where this becomes interesting. With a guy like Michael Jenkins, I think it's been obvious to anybody who's watched the Vikings this season, and certainly the scouts I've talked to within the league, Michael Jenkins can't run anymore. Whether that's from the knee injury that he had last season that was still bugging him in the offseason, whether it's just a product of being over age 30 now and never having really been an explosive player before, Jenkins is certainly not the same guy. He can't get in and out of a break. He can't drop his weight anymore. He can't run a route for you. But the reason he's continued to be active on game day goes back to something I've said many times, which is coaches always are going to lean on the guys that they know, the guys who have experience, the guys that they trust. In many cases here, what you've seen is some of the veterans who were here in the past are not here, which has forced the Vikings to go young. Well, Jarius Wright was inactive for the first 9 games of the season because they wanted to continue to put Michael Jenkins out on the football field. This might be the excuse to take Jenkins away. One other reason that they couldn't, or that the coaching staff might not have felt as though Michael Jenkins couldn't be deactivated is because he's known as a team leader. He's one of the veteran guys on this team. So what sort of a message does that send to some of the other veteran guys on the team? Personally, I don't think there's anything to that because anyone who's watching the game can see Jenkins can't play anymore. Jarius Wright at least gives you the threat of a balance of speed out on the perimeter. This foot thing, whether Jenkins is able to get back to 95% or 75% by the weekend, I would not be surprised at all based on what we know today if Michael Jenkins is inactive for this week, and if Jarius Wright is able to make a play or two again, all of a sudden you might be in a situation where maybe Michael Jenkins is not somebody who's being up on an every week basis. A lot more to come throughout the week here during the Thanksgiving week. Sunday in Chicago, I'll be there as well. Full Vikings coverage, as always, at 1500ESPN.com. We'll see you.